Hi guys and welcome to my channel. So today I thought I would do a Marilyn Monroe makeup look. Now Marilyn, I absolutely love her. Norma Jean, I just love her. She's fantastic. I love so many of her movies. So and she had a remarkable style, especially for makeup. Now I went and did a little bit of research into Marilyn, which I've always loved her and I've always known a little bit about her, but I didn't know certain things like who her makeup artist was, for example. And her makeup artist was called Whitey, and that was his nickname. He actually, I've wrote it down just in case because I didn't want to get it wrong. His actual name was Whitey Snyder, and he worked with Marilyn from her first screen test in 1946 until her funeral in 1962. So there was lots of little tips and stuff that she used, that she'd done, and I thought I would just put them on here. I mean, they might not work. Believe me, they might not work because I am not a makeup artist. You know that. Everybody who watches my channel knows that. But I just love that style and that the way she is as an icon. So I thought, let's give it a go. So I'm going to start off with, she was a massive fan of Nivea and a massive fan of Vaseline. Now she actually used lots and lots and lots of Nivea. She wasn't mad on going out in the sun and stuff. And she loved to care for her skin. So Nivea was her chosen moisturiser. Now I don't have that. So I put some of my Elmis cream on and I've put that on. So that's on here, waiting. And then I found out that she actually used Vaseline as a primer. Now I don't have any Vaseline, but I have Dr. Pawpaw, which is kind of like a Vaseline type thing. So I'm going to use this as a primer like Marilyn would do. Let's go for it. And she also used this as a highlight. So this was her soft, dewy look that she favoured. And she felt that that moisturisation, soft, dewy look just gives you youth. And that's what she wanted to present with her skin. And that was that freshness. So a little bit of the Dr. Pawpaw on top. And you can see that shine. It does shine. It's just that little bit extra, isn't it? And then I'm going to pop on some foundation. Now her favourite foundation was Max Factor. Now I don't have any Max Factor, so it's going to have to be Rimmel. In honour of a Marilyn type look, I'm going to have a little glass of wine, which is Wake Me Up Anti-Fatigue Foundation. Okay. Okay, now Marilyn liked to use a lighter concealer around these areas, so I'm going to go in with my ELF. Okay, and because of that lighter look under here, I'm just going to use the banana powder that we got in our glossy box. Okay, so we'll leave that to bake for a little while. Now, for her eyes, let's crack on with that. Now, what she always liked to do was base first, so base colour. So I'm going to go into my Morphe palette and I'm just going to go in with the beige colour, the second colour in. Then I'm going to pop on the white. Now, Marilyn liked to use the white right across her lids and up into her brow bone. Now for a little bit of depth. She didn't put any kind of shadow on here. She put shadow in here. So she went with a dark colour. So I'm unsure what colour we're going to go with. So I'm going to start off with this one here, just because I'm a little bit scared to add it. Okay, we're going to give that a blend. And that just gives the illusion that the socket is deeper than it actually is. And that's how she would leave it. So I think she was one of the first who would do, well, it wasn't actually one of the first. She based this on a Greta Garbo look. And actually, Marilyn actually said she was using the Garbo look. So this was the deep socket kind of eyeshadow look with the white. Okay, so we kind of deepened her eyes a little bit. Alright, and now for her liner, she would use browns and blacks eyeliners. So I'm going to put a brown along the top. So I'm just going to use that same, well no, I think I'll go a shade darker and maybe go down here. And we're going to put it along our line. And she used a mix of black and brown colours, and her favourites were Elizabeth Arden, and she used a mix of those colours. Okay, I'm just going to take this off now. Now I don't know about baking for Marilyn, but I think she definitely used powder, but I'm not using powder, so I'm just baking. So that's that. Okay, and now I'm going to go in with my lower lash with the flat definer and the same colour on the bottom. Okay, and then Marilyn would have she would have a second shadow. She would have a shadow here, so it would be an underliner. So the liner would come out here. And this was to look like she had, this was the shadow of the lashes, because she wore such large lashes. So this is an underliner. That's a bit dark. And then I'm going to use my Glow and Ray to give myself a wing. Now it's a little flick. Okay, now my eyeliner is not the best today, but we're just going to go with it. Now, another tip that she would use is she would use a white liner. This is my arrow pencil that I got in my Birchbox. Now this is the only kind of white I have. So she would use a white in her lash line, just to open that up. And she would also use a white in between here. And then we are going to go in with the lashes. Now she always used half lashes, so I didn't have any half lashes, so I only had one left. So we're gonna try. I'm just gonna cut up a few and put them at the edge because that's all I have. Okay, so we've put on our lashes. Now these are all I have, so apologies for this. This is just the edges. Those lashes, obviously the shadow underneath is supposed to, from far away, give you that illusion of those lashes being really, really long. Eyebrows used to be a brown pencil. Marilyn and her makeup artist favoured the arch, so I don't know how I'm going to do this because my brows are this shape. Okay, so that is as arched as I'm going to get it, and she liked to do that to make her forehead look smaller and just to give her more of a heart, love heart kind of shape in her face. So I would say that's us done for the eyes. I did read that she loved to put a little bit of oil, coconut oil, onto her lids, and that was just to give that little bit of moistness. So if Marilyn liked it, I'm going to do it. So now we're going to go on to a little bit of contouring. She did like to contour her nose to make it longer. Okay, so I'm just going to use my Spectrum brush and a little bit of the Manicadar that we got in our glitter box this month. And I'm just going to take it down the edge of the nose. Okay, and I'll just stick a little bit of highlight down the middle. And for blusher, she liked to use a coral type of affair. So I'm going to go with the Ruby that I got in my glossy box quite a while ago. I'm going to use it with my Spectrum brush. And she liked to put it just underneath this bit here and then onto the temples. And she liked to use a tiny bit on the tip of her nose. And for the tip of the nose, that just gave it a shorter kind of look, and it just made it look a little bit shorter and more defined. Okay, so now we're going to go on to highlight, and because she used Vaseline, we're going to go with a little bit of Vaseline. And on the brow bone. Okay, and now we're going to go on to lips, which was very exciting. So for her lips, she liked to use a dark red to line. And then Marilyn would use lots of shades, lots of different shades. So I'm going to go in with that pinky shade. And Marilyn would put layer upon layer of lipstick on. So she would blot and then she would go back on in. So I have another colour now. So we have the Lord and Berry. And now I'm just going to blot this once more. And sometimes Marilyn would do this up to 6 times. I'm going to leave it at that on this one. And then she would gloss it up. So this is what makes the Marilyn gloss. And for this I have Smashbox. Now another trick that Marilyn would do is put a red dot into our inner corner. And that trick was just to make the eyes look whiter. Now we're going to do the beauty spot, which is obviously on the left hand side for Marilyn, so that would be on this side here. And she actually did have a mole but didn't have any colour, so she would just put that over the top. And so I'm just going to put and I'm just using my eyeliner stamp pencil that I got from eBay. Okay, so that is my Marilyn look for today. Now obviously the hair, very high, very bouncy, very curly, and I've put on a little bit of a Marilyn type dress, a little bit sexy. Okay, so that is my finished look, and I think Marilyn gave us so much, and Whitey. Together they perfected a beautiful, stunning look that just gives every woman confidence, and it must have given Marilyn a lot of confidence. I absolutely loved doing this and researching Marilyn and finding out a little bit more about how she did her makeup techniques and her hair. She was a glorious woman with such an amazing future ahead of her, if only it had been different. So thank you Marilyn for everything that you gave us, and thank you Whitey for passing on those amazing tips and creating such a stunning look. So thank you, and we love you lots guys.